Well. What do we have here? See, I done seen your post. I done seen your memes. And I know I look crazy to 90% of y'all out here. But I told you, if you ain't coming for me, how am I gonna come for you? All over the country, hell, all over the world now. Shit that was perpetuated by one motherfucker who's not in power anymore. Got the world screaming, stop Asian hate. Stop Asian hate. But I've never heard anybody scream stop black hate whenever an Asian kills or assaults or brutalizes a black person. I've never seen it, never heard it. I've never seen it or seen it directed towards Asians. Y'all keep going to the beauty supplies. Y'all keep going to the nail shops. The same ones that they brutalize y'all in. The same ones that they follow y'all around in. Lynchburg City in the house. Brother Knowledge. The same people, because all they say is Asians. You know, they clump them all in and say, stop Asian hate. So I'm not singling anybody out. I'm not looking for any type of ethnic specificity right now. Absolutely not. It's Asians. An Asian man shot a 6-year-old black boy. That's all we got here. It's as generic as that. I don't care what part of Asia he comes from. It don't matter. All I know is he pulled the trigger on a 6-year-old black. Actually, he pulled the trigger on a group of black kids. He could have shot more than one. That could have went through the little one's arm and hit somebody else. Seeing that it pierced in and went out, it could have went into another kid. And how far are you from a 6-year-old's heart? If you hit his arm, how far are you from his heart? Now, I'm laying all this down now because I know most people know about this shooting. Most people in this area, but most people in this area don't even fucking watch these videos. Most motherfuckers that watch these videos live in other states. But what we've got people out here been screaming, stop Asian hate, stop Asian hate. Same clown ass, coon ass motherfuckers, the fuck out of my way, man. That be talking that shit, Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot. Y'all line dancing motherfuckers. And I've asked for one instance. I said, I'll get down with you. I'll get down with you. Give me one instance where Asians in mass have come out to support black people. Give me one instance when we've been brutalized by police. We've been murdered by police. Just harassed by police. Give me one instance that a mass amount of Asians have come out to support black people. And I'll fuck with you. I'm still waiting for my phone to ring. But now, in our own neighborhood, because see, he wasn't a resident. He don't own that house. He not even an occupant. That was his bitch's house. Or it is his bitch's house. She got to move. Because he can't come back. If he pulls up on the set, let the chips fall where they may. But seeing that we got Washington counties, I ain't going to call her out her name yet. But the funky ass judge took it upon herself to deem him not a flight risk, not a risk to the community. And hell, they didn't even want to give him the charges that they gave him. I mean, I'm listening to the bail hearing and I'm like, really? I ain't never seen y'all do a black defendant like this. When you got a black suspect in custody and y'all talking about charges, I ain't never seen you just be so adhering to their needs. Fuck all this. This is the craziest shit I've ever heard. If anybody's ever heard of a bail hearing like this, please tell me. Because I know I ain't. This is some shit. This motherfucker's sitting up here with a motherfucking public defender, because they ain't assigned him counsel yet. Got a public defender and a judge going back and forth, figuring out the welfare and well-being of a motherfucker who just shot a baby, 6 years old. See, it might have been a tad bit different. They might have shown a little bit of care had the boy been white, maybe, but I don't even know. But we know what kind of care we get when he's black.
I don't have a copy of it, but I understand there are 4 counts. And I've been informed of the charges, so we waive their formal reading and stand mute.
Yeah, and they're all, the 4 charges are primarily one event.
Mm-hmm. That's what I understand as well. Okay. They're all in the alternative.
You may address bond when you're ready.
Your Honor, Mr. Wynn is, Lee Wynn actually, is 29 years of age. He has no prior criminal history whatsoever.
Well, he's in Livingston County Jail for what reason? Oh, because of the nature of this case, not on a different charge, right?
What I believe to be true, and I'm just jumping in the pool since last night, Your Honor, is given his relationships, I thought it was better to put him in. Am I correct on that, Mr. Wynn? There are no other matters?
Yes.
Okay.
So they thought good enough of him because he shot somebody in Ipsy. But they thought good enough for him to transport him out to Livingston County Jail. When the fuck have you ever heard of them transporting somebody out of town for their safety after they shot somebody? I ain't never seen a black man transported somewhere else for his safety. They put him in Livingston County Jail. The judge didn't even know why he was in Livingston County Jail. And the public defender comes in with more knowledge than the judge? This is some backdoor white supremacist bullshit. Now, from what I'm hearing, the prosecutor's office asked for a $100,000 bond. She gave him $10,000. So you give him 10% of what the prosecutor asked for. And I don't give a fuck if it was 10 cash. They got that. They Asians. How many Asians you know that don't got 10 grand? Asians make more money in this country than anybody. They'd have found that 10 grand hidden somewhere. Oh yeah, he Asian. Stop Asian hate. Stop Asian hate. No, we need to stop Asian haters. Because he's an Asian hater. A hater of black people. Cowardice. Sissified. A bitch. The fuck you doing over in that neighborhood anyway? What's your bitch doing over in that neighborhood? She needs to go. Because he can't pull up on the set no more. If that's your bitch's house, what you doing with a gun over there? Or you feel like you need to protect yourself? Then y'all need to move somewhere else. It's not his house, but he had his gun there. Was it her gun? Was it his gun? I need to know that. An unlawful discharge of a firearm, and it's not your gun. That's a charge. And if it is his gun, how come I didn't hear nothing about a firearm charge? But listen to this shit.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Simon. Sorry about that.
That's all right, Your Honor. He's got, if the court were to release him, he's got a couple of places. Oh, first of all, I should also say that he is employed.
So
he has local.
So they don't ever care if a black kid is employed, a black man is employed. When you shoot somebody, that's the chance you take. You might just lose your fucking job. His employer should be notified that he shot a 6-year-old black baby. And they should be made to fire his ass. I hope he don't work no place where people can just pull up on him. He better work in a place that can keep that private. Because it's on this motherfucking video. It give out his phone number and everything. I'm sure he gonna change all that. But they making accommodations for a motherfucker who recklessly shot, purposely shot a 6-year-old. But he's Asian, so he's got protection.
Both his parents live in Washtenaw County. He can reside at either his father's home if the court, I want to disclose, though I understand there are firearms at that home.
It said his father is in law enforcement. I don't know that for sure. But he can't go to his daddy's house because he got guns. Did his daddy give him the gun? He told his daddy where his girlfriend lived, and his daddy gave him a gun for protection. How about y'all just find a fucking new place to live? Don't live around black folks. You can't stand to be around black folks without shooting them. I'm trying to find out when we're hitting Candlewood. I need to know. I need to know when we hitting Candlewood. Six years old. Shot through the window. But listen to the rest of this shit. They really make this shit out to seem like, oh, he didn't mean to do this. Even though he shot through the window.
So if the court felt otherwise, if he were to be able to be released, he has another address with friends that I can provide to the court in Holt, Michigan, that he could reside at. The residence where he was at, where this occurred, was his girlfriend's residence, so he does not have to return to that residence. In fact, I think it would be advised that he doesn't return to that. I'm sure that's going to be a condition of
I think it'd be advised that she moves.
These are very serious charges, but as I understand the facts, Your Honor, there is no express intent to assault any person. In other words, my understanding.
No expressed intent to hurt a person, even though he shot a motherfucking gun through a window into a crowd of kids. How do you have no expressed intent to harm anybody when you shoot a motherfucking gun into a crowd of children? See, Joe Simon, he's a bitch too. He's a bitch too.
Is that this was charged as a reckless act? Am I wrong? Then I'm incorrect. Then I apologize.
Yeah, you shut the fuck up, Joe, you bitch.
Maybe the court can enlighten me as to more specifics of the allegation.
Count 1 is AWIM. Count 2 is...
Kid's still alive, Frida.
No, I understand the charge, but I'm saying the fact that underlie them.
Well, how can you have an assault with intent to commit murder if there's no intent?
Thank you. That's really the point of my argument. As I understood the facts,
I see. Not as you understand the charges. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as I understand the facts that compromise the charges, I'm confused by those charges.
I see. I misunderstood what you were saying.
So yeah, well, but listen, again, I don't want, the court knows me well enough that I wouldn't make representations unless I know them to be true, which is why I'm not making full representations yet. I'm just getting acquainted. But from my brief conversation with the OIC, these charges don't make a lot of sense to me because they seem to be inconsistent with what I was told. My point is, in terms of assessing my client's danger of lethality, he doesn't have any particular person with whom there's an outstanding grudge or anything like that. So I'm asking the court to set as reasonable bond as possible. Obviously, these are serious charges. In fact,
asking the court to set a reasonable bond as possible, but he thinks the charges are serious. I'm not sure exactly what he would consider reasonable. I'm not sure how he could even be in a position to be asking for a bond. Joe Simon don't have kids? Fink don't have kids? What if one of their kids got shot? Would they be asking for a reasonable bond? A reasonable bond. What's a reasonable bond for shooting into a crowd of children? You about to fucking find out.
Of the charges, bond can be denied, but I'm asking the court to set as reasonable bond as possible.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions.
You know they know each other.
This person, Colby Daniel, who's the alleged victim, does he live at 1369 Candlewood?
To our knowledge, that person lives in that neighborhood. Okay. And that is a young minor.
No, he's a 6-year-old baby,
and
you bitch.
This is not a person that Mr. Lee Wynn has any particular relationship with.
Yeah, see, this is the lie. This is the lie that they let him say in court. They've had problems with him and the kids putting their bikes out there. He said shit to these kids before. He gets up here and fucking lies. That's already been out. He has said stuff about them having their bikes and toys and all that shit, even though this ain't his motherfucking house. Even though it's his bitch's house. And he gonna sit up here and fucking lie. Motherfucker.
And this is not a person that Mr. Lee Wynn has any particular relationship with.
Can you confirm that, Mr. Lee Wynn?
Yes, no relation.
Yeah. I don't mean just to see your family, but is this a person that you are friends with?
He up here trying to act like he don't understand what the fuck is going on. They probably told him to go act stupid, act dim-witted. I want to know where the fuck he works. He probably programs computers and shit. He up here acting stupid, like he don't know what the fuck's going on. But he knew what the fuck was going on when he pointed that gun and shot through the glass.
I am not.
Okay. Not a stranger, but almost a stranger. Is he a stranger to you?
Yes.
See? He's a fucking liar. He knows this child. He knows all those kids in that block. They've had issues with him saying shit before. He's a stranger. Never seen him before. Never had any relationship with him. They need to be pinpointing this now. See, they're trying not to build up habitual behavior. But that shit's got to come out. Hopefully these people who got Ring cameras, hopefully they can go back and possibly see some incidents or just see where he's actually had some back and forth with these kids. Because he just lied.
Just a stranger. Is he a stranger to you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, like you, Mr. Simon, first time I saw anything on this file is when I sat down and turned my face on to do this arraignment.
See, that right there lets you know this is fuck shit. So you did a rush arraignment on somebody who just shot a 6-year-old child. You just pulled your motherfucking panties on and put your gown on and sat down, and that's the first case you took? Nah, you shouldn't have took that one first. Judge. And Joe Simon, he gets called up and he takes a case and he ain't seen the files. He don't understand the charges. See, they already trying to fuck this shit up. This is how he'll get off. Because the judicial system gonna fuck it up. They gonna fuck the paperwork up. This first hearing right here is gonna be bogus.
So you know more about it than I do.
Ain't this a bitch?
Well, Your Honor, here's what I can tell you that I have been told. I'm told that this was a Mr. Lee Wynn is alleged to have fired a shot outside from the inside of his residence.
I see.
It's not his residence.
At necessarily anyone in particular, but in response to noises on his property where he was staying. Okay. Yes.
So any ongoing danger to the community would be the result of Mr. Lee Wynn using bad judgment.
That's my understanding of the facts.
Bad judgment.
Particular malice.
That is my understanding of the facts, which is why my earlier comments.
Right. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Bad judgment.
So, I think a bond, I think some kind of a bond is important primarily because
some kind of a bond
to emphasize the seriousness to Mr. Lee Wynn, but also because, as I just said, at a minimum, there was an extremely bad choice made involving a firearm, which is always a concern to the court. Mr. Lee Wynn, bond has two parts to it. One is whether you're a danger to the community. The other is whether you're a flight risk. There doesn't appear to be any reason that you would be considered a flight risk.
Why?
As far as danger to the community.
Why wouldn't he fly to Asia? If you put some fucking hard-ass charges on his ass, why wouldn't he think about fleeing? Why wouldn't he be considered a flight risk? Because he has a job? Didn't make him surrender his passport. Didn't put a tether on him. Nothing.
Is your alleged behavior in this situation, which appears to be a dangerous and ill-advised option that you made. The fact that this allegedly occurred in the way that Mr. Simon has just presented it to me, it, in the opinion of the court, indicates some potential danger. Not because you meant to have anything go wrong, but because you chose to behave in a way that was in fact dangerous. So I have another question, Mr. Simon.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the reason is that Mr. Lee Wynn is in Livingston County, is that something that we have to address in the bond? The prosecutor's bond recommendation is saying that there are concerns for his safety, but I don't really understand what that would be.
Can we go? Is it possible to go off YouTube for me to answer that?
Yeah, see?
Yes.
See?
We're still going to be recording.
That's fine.
And okay. This is where I believe, because they in the video here, this is where I believe that they talk about his father being in law enforcement. And I don't know if his father is in law enforcement in Washtenaw County, but if he's in law enforcement anywhere, now there's going to probably be some issues with his daddy. But we stopping Asian hate, right? Asians are getting brutalized. This is an individual attack on black children. One black child shot. Fortunately, more than one weren't hit, since that bullet went inside of a kid's arm and outside of his arm, could have easily hit another child. So when we listen to that,
So I can't really see the support for such a high surety bond. But
she can't see the support for it. She can't see the sincerity in it.
All right.
Because black lives don't matter. Black lives don't matter.
I'm going to set the bond at $10,000 cash or surety.
$10,000.
No contact with Colby Daniel. I don't want him to live at the Candlewood address. So can we have a different mailing address for him if we have one?
Mr. Wynn, where do you want your mail to go?
Can I go to my father's address, which is 5709 Cary Drive, Ypsilanti, 48197.
So his daddy's probably in law enforcement in Washington.
Mr. Simon, do you want him to give me his email now, or do you want to do that?
Sure, that's fine. Okay.
What's your email address, Mr. Lehman?
My email address is le.ryan123@gmail.
Did you say the first two letters were M like Mary?
L as in Lima, and then E as in elephant.
.Ryan123. Okay. And it's all right with you if the court uses your email to contact you?
Yes.
Do you want to give me a phone number too?
Phone number is my phone number?
Yes.
Okay. It's 517.
Doing that dim-witted shit.
883-3795.
Okay. All right. So while you're on bond, so I set the bond at $10,000 cash or surety. While you're on bonds, no contact with the alleged victim, Colby Daniel. Do not go to Candlewood. Do you have belongings there? Do you need to go?
I do. I have like my vehicle.
Okay. So
my vehicle is still there, and my clothing. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Except
is your gun still there?
Civil standby. Civil standby.
I'll explain that to you, Mr. Lehman.
So no contact means that you're not speaking to Colby Daniel, and you're not replying if he tries to speak to you, and you're not using the internet or social media to try to have contact with him, and you're not trying to deliver a message to him in any way.
Okay.
Do not go to that Candlewood Street except civil standby. No firearms, weapons, or ammunition. Do not leave the state of Michigan.
No, don't go to Candlewood at all, bro.
Mr. Simon, regarding
we don't want your ass in the block. Fuck all that. This is where we at. This is where we're at. A motherfucker. Sister Angela, how you doing? They shot another one of us, Sister Angela. 6-year-old baby. 6-year-old baby. But we stopping Asian hate. We stopping Asian hate. Ain't nobody trying to stop black hate. Ain't nobody trying to give us no executive orders. Ain't nobody trying to give us no lynching bills, no hate crime bills. But our babies are getting shot when they're trying to attempt to pick their bicycle up off the sidewalk by Asians, by Asian occupants. He's not even a resident in the block. He's just an occupant. His bitch lives there. Now she needs to put a for sale sign in her yard. We don't want her there either, because he can't come back. He can't come back. And I don't want her to be unsafe or to feel unsafe. So she should probably move. She should probably go. Seeing that it wasn't his house, but he felt the need to bring a firearm to her house. They should go. Sister Cosetta, how you doing? When that present hits, I know you're there. He needs to go. She needs to go. That house needs to be vacant. Oh, he's trying to park right there? Sorry about that, y'all. I'm at the car wash and shit trying to finish this clip up. Let me go on and get Ray's truck washed. I get back on here afterwards. We need it. 2 Asian men in a truck. We need them. We need them. If they need help moving, we got some citizens in the neighborhood that can help them. Put that shit right on the curb. They got to go. They got to go. But y'all going to go to them nail salons, though. Y'all going to go to them beauty supplies, though. I don't want to hear shit else about no stop Asian hate from none of y'all shoe-shuffling ass motherfuckers. But, of course, the shoe-shuffling ass motherfuckers don't watch these videos. They too busy getting their choreography together. They too busy getting their motherfucking paintbrushes together. And I'm still waiting for that call when y'all can tell me when Asians have stepped up for black people. They don't step up for black people. They step on black people. But y'all stop Asian hate. You clown ass motherfuckers. One love.